Hey everybody, it's Tiffany. This is my third video, which is super exciting. I never even thought I would get this far, so that's something, I guess, for me anyway. Today I wanted to talk about sort of my health and fitness journey up until now and my plans for the future because I am planning to start a cleanse tomorrow. I don't have any of the ingredients that I need yet or the groceries that I need, but going to get those tonight. I was inspired by a movie called Food Matters, which I believe is still on Netflix. And it just talks about sort of the food industry and the medicine that we're prescribed and how that's not the way to go is by fixing our ailments with medicine, but by fixing our ailments with our diet. And it was kind of an eye opener. I watched that probably 5 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe. And that's kind of been in the back of my mind. I haven't taken the full step to being vegan or vegetarian even yet. I've always wanted to, but I can't get rid of the meat or the dairy. I love them too much. I'm a big cheese person and a big milk person, so I've never been able to cut those out of my diet. But so first I wanted to talk about my fitness up until now. I've always been sort of a healthier person. I mean, I've never been overweight, according to my body mass index. But I've never been truly like 100% happy with not even necessarily my weight, but just I want to be toned and in shape just to have more energy. Up until last year, I hadn't really had any kind of exercise regimen. I just kind of I did walk every once in a while, but it was nothing like there was no regimen behind it, basically. And last March or April, my husband and I started to do T25, which really kicked our butts. It's super intense. If you've never done it, you should try it. The program is about $140 to buy, which isn't super cheap, but I found it really, really worth it. I still use it now. I don't follow the schedule that they have set out for you, but I just kind of pick and choose the workouts that I like to do. And they definitely kick my butt, and I find that they sort of get me jump started for the day and give me energy because when I wake up, like, I'm such a sloth, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go anywhere, and so as soon as I get done with that, I'm motivated to go outside and take my dog for a walk and do the dishes and clean up and vacuum and stuff like that, which I have a hard time doing if I don't jump into an exercise after I get up. So I was doing T25 off and on. I mean, I kind of fell off of it a little bit and then would kind of jump back on. But I never really addressed my diet while I was doing that, and I never really ended up losing any kind of weight with that. I definitely toned up, but I think I was kind of gaining muscle and losing fat, so my weight stayed about the same. But I want to address my diet now, which is why I'm going to jump into the cleanse tomorrow. And the reason I'm doing this video to begin with is so that I will have the motivation to even do it, because if I just say it to myself, I know that I won't do it. So even if I'm just talking to myself and nobody even sees this, it's out on the internet and it'll give me the motivation to get my ass in gear because I am terrible at this kind of stuff. Like, I'm such a procrastinator, and I'm sure tomorrow I will just say, oh, I'll start tomorrow. Well, I'm telling you today is Wednesday, April 15th. I'm starting tomorrow. Okay. When I got the job at the Postal Service, I ended up losing about 20 pounds over the 3 months doing that because I was, walking up to 8, 10, 12 miles a day on some days, and I was not eating lunch because, they're in such a hurry pushing you to get your route done that some days I just didn't have time to eat, which is not good, but it did help me jumpstart the weight loss, I had a really hard time. I mean, it was damn near impossible for me to do by myself because the food was always the problem. Like, I can work out and work out and work out, really no problem. I kind of enjoy working out, but the food, I'll do good until dinner time, and even dinner, I'll make a really, good healthy dinner, and then I don't know if it's that I think I should reward myself, but, I don't know. I always fall off, after dinner, and I end up eating half a bag of Cheetos or whatever. Cheetos are kind of my my thing. So since I got fired, I kind of jumped back on the T25 so that I could keep the weight off, because I know if I just went back to my old lifestyle and started eating like I was eating and, being fairly inactive, I would just gain it back. And it was so hard to lose in the first place that I don't want to gain it back. Especially if I get my job back, I really want to stayed in shape. So, um, I've always eaten fairly healthy. I mean, I was never a big snacker. I never really like would sit down and eat, tons and tons of packaged like candy bars or sweets or chips or anything like that. I definitely would eat them, if I would have a sandwich at lunch, I would eat chips. But I never really would just sit down and like crave chips. I mean, I do every once in a while, but not like it's not a daily thing by any means. I always knew better than how I was eating. I just laziness pretty much. And eating healthy is kind of expensive, especially if you want to eat organic, which I do. I always have. It's so expensive. And for somebody who's on a budget, you know, you don't want to spend $500 a month just on food. So just recently I've started making everything homemade. I try not to buy at least anything prepackaged. I mean, every once in a while, like Kraft macaroni and cheese just sounds really good, and so I'll buy that every once in a while. But for the most part, I make my own spaghetti sauce, pasta sauce, pizza sauce, stuff like that, because the canned or the stuff in the jar has tons of salt and sugar in it just to preserve it. And so I find if I just buy canned or stewed tomatoes and just season it. I blend it up in my Ninja, and then I season it however I want, and I find that is a lot healthier of an option than buying it just already made, and it really doesn't take that long to do that. I also don't eat a whole lot of fast food. I probably, at the most, twice a month, I'll crave fast food, mostly Burger King. I don't know what it is about Burger King. I always get their original chicken sandwich. And, I'll think about it, every couple of days, but there are some days where I just cannot get it off my mind. I'm like, okay, it's, go get a freaking burger. It's not that big of a deal every once in a while. And I also don't drink a whole lot of soda. The only time I will ever drink soda is if I'm at a barbecue, and you're having barbecue burgers. Or if I get fast food, I usually will get a soda with that. But I never buy soda for myself. I don't really crave it. It's not something that the only time it sounds good is when I'm eating fast food usually. So anyway, I wanted to make this video, which I've already said a few times, to jumpstart the cleanse that I want to start tomorrow, which consists of juicing for breakfast and snacks, mostly vegetables, and then doing a salad or some sort of vegetable prepared meal for lunch and dinner. And if I'm not super starving, I'll probably try to juice everything. I mean, I'll see how I feel. I can't imagine that I'll want to do that, because I'm the type of person to where when I wake up in the morning, I have to eat something immediately, or else I get super, super kind of fainty feeling. Like, I can never get up and just go do something. I always have to eat first, which is such a pain, especially if people are waiting on you, or you want to get, you don't want to have to get up super early before work or whatever to go make breakfast. I have to do that. Otherwise, I just can't function. So I made a list of stuff that I wanted to buy and juice over the next 3 days. I'm going to try to make it last 10 days. They suggest you do it for 10 days to fully, get the full effects of the cleanse. But they want you to do it at least 3 days. So my goal is to do it at least 3 days. I would like to do 5, but I'm sticking with 3 and just see how that goes. So on my grocery list, I have cucumbers, zucchini, celery, ginger, parsley, cilantro, tomato, spinach, and kale for my vegetables. And then for fruit, I just have lemon, lime, apple, and orange. They want the majority of the cleanse to be vegetables, but I know myself, and I know that I won't do it unless it tastes good. And I know just adding apples and oranges and that kind of stuff into it will help a lot. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into Corvallis tonight with my husband. That's why I'm a little dressed up today, is because we're going to go to dinner. And while we're there, I think there's a Trader Joe's there. So I'm going to go and see what I can get off my list. I already have a juicer. It's not the best juicer. I think it was only like 30 or 40 bucks. So it kind of wastes a lot of the vegetable and the fruit, which is kind of a bummer. But I'm going to see how it goes. And if it's something that I can see myself doing often, obviously I'll invest in a more expensive juicer, just because, you know, if it's something I'm going to use all the time, I don't want to waste all the food that I'm buying just because it doesn't, you know, it doesn't get all the juice out of it. So, but I would love to know if any of you have any kind of suggestions for my cleanse, or if you would like to share anything about your health and fitness journey, because it's something that if there's a community around it, it seems to work a little bit better for me. You know, if I have people to talk to and kind of motivate me, it makes it a little bit more tolerable, at least for me. And also, it would be super awesome if you subscribe. I don't have any subscribers yet, and I don't expect to, but it would be awesome if I did, because I would love to grow my channel into something that could be really, really fun for me, and I can, you know, maybe make some new friends and, you know, talk to some of you guys. So hit subscribe, and I'll try to check back in, maybe even tomorrow, about how the cleanse is going. I'm sure I'll have some words to say about it. I can't imagine I'll be super excited, especially after the first day, to keep going with it. But I hear after, you know, 3 to 10 days, somewhere in there, it differs for everybody, that you sort of bounce back and you sort of get all your energy back after that. And that would be super awesome to reach that point. I don't know that I'll be able to do it long enough to reach that, but I'll let you guys know, and stay tuned for more of that. And like I said, subscribe. And my nose is super duper itchy. What is with that? So attractive. I guess Winnie wants to say hi. She's right here. Of course. She always thinks that I'm talking to her when I'm talking to the video camera. She's my little doll. It's a super nice day here in Oregon. It's supposed to be close to 80 in the next couple of days, so that's kind of intense. It seems kind of early for that, but I guess it's already almost May, which is really, I can't believe the year's flying by so fast. So I'll let you guys go, and I will maybe see you tomorrow. Check back in with my cleanse. Bye, guys.